Today is primary day in 6 states, California included. I spoke with Pinterest President Tim Kendall about the Silicon Valley community, what he thinks of the election season, and how he grew revenue by 5-fold last year. At the Graycroft Tech and Media Summit, I asked him why he thinks Pinterest will not be blocked in China, as so many other social media companies are.
Pinterest isn't a social network. We're this catalog of ideas that, opens up. When you open your phone, you see this handcrafted catalog of ideas that are personalized to you. And we think, as I mentioned, we think that idea, that solution should be applicable around the world. And specific to China, I think because we're not a social network, there isn't this sort of planning capability that users could have for sort of any anti-government work. So I think in China there could be a viable way that we could be there and find great
You're essentially
adoption.
non-threatening, and the users or pinners who are on Pinterest are there with commercial intent. They are looking, they're interested in buying, they're interested in discovering new ideas.
And they're there for themselves, so they're not there to share things with their friends and family. They're not there to find out what their friends and family are doing. So it's not this community planning tool like most of the other social networks. And so I think that does put us in a unique position all over the world, but probably gives us a unique position in China as well.
So I know you are not a direct competitor to either Google or Facebook, but as far as the lion's share of ad dollars, they tend to get it. It's a $30 billion market by 2017. How are you competing with these companies? How are you making sure Pinterest gets its share?
Yeah, well, I think marketers want to be where people want to find them. And what we see, and Mary Meeker just released her report last week, what we see is a disproportionate number of our users come onto Pinterest to look for products and ideas and services. And in fact, based on her data, 55% say they come to Pinterest for products and services and to shop. Only about 12% go to social networks for that purpose.
What if one of those two companies tries to take on some Pinterest-like qualities, whether it's a page, whether it becomes a focal point for them? How are you going to protect yourselves?
My view and what we talk about internally is just focus on executing, just focus on building a great product and service, which I know is a bit of a cliche, but I actually think is very true in practice. Because I think if you're ultra responsive and reactive to competitors or would-be competitors, I think you lose your way, and I think you lose track of, your end consumer and what they actually want. And if you just service them on a daily basis, I think, in our case, I think we'll build a very big company and business.
What's been the biggest surprise to you since you joined Pinterest 4 years ago about the business?
I didn't realize how big of a search business we had on our hands, and it turns out that users spend a lot of time on Pinterest searching for products and services. The second thing, which maybe is a little bit subtle, although when I say it you'll think it's obvious, is that we don't have any user-generated content on the service. So when I'm browsing through my home feed, I'm looking at content from partners. I'm looking at predominantly business content.
So you're not annoying your users because they are there to get ideas?
Partner content or with ads, no. And I think if you think about all the other applications on your phone, the social networks, in other words, there's an inherently interruptive aspect to putting business content in front of users when they are looking for content from their friends. And they're just not doing that on Pinterest. They're not looking for content from their friends. They're actually looking for business and partner content. So we're giving them what they want, and we're giving partners what they want, which is an audience that's looking for them. And so that symbiotic alignment, I didn't internalize that nearly as much when I joined as I do today, and I think it's an unfair advantage for us.
Let me ask you, because the California primary is Tuesday. You are running a tech company. You are based in the heart of tech in Silicon Valley, San Francisco area. What is your take on the political process from the point of view of a tech leader?
I don't think I've ever voted in a primary. And yesterday, I made sure that my absentee ballot was in the mailbox before I flew to New York. And that's a first for me. And so I think it speaks to the level of engagement, enthusiasm that this campaign is creating.
Tim Kendall, president of Pinterest. I'm going to be watching 3 key counties tonight in Silicon Valley. There's a high-tech and libertarian presence. You can see those 3 on that map there. Experts say libertarian voters' behavior very difficult to predict.